Helldivers 2, a game of all time. I've been playing this game since its launch and even had some experience with the first game, and I honestly have to tell you, most of the people who play this game have got to be the most lobotomized, moronic people I've ever had the displeasure of meeting. To elaborate on what I mean, I've seen the worst balancing takes for the guns of this game. Like, compared to any other game, it is not this bad. It has never been this bad for anything I've ever played personally. According to the people who play this game, everything is either completely broken or underpowered, and talking about it is genuinely just a headache 99% of the time. That being said, let me throw my lobotomized brain into the ring and tell you why you guys are sleeping on the most underrated gun in the game, the Liberator. Now, the Liberator might not look like much from a stats perspective, as on that front, it's overall pretty average. Does okay damage, has an okay mag size, decent sights, and handles pretty decent as well. At the end of the day, it's basically just an ugly bullpupped M4. Now, you may look at those stats and feel no strong emotions at all, which was my first reaction. However, after a little bit of thinking, this makes the gun basically good at anything. It doesn't matter what front you go to, what situation you're in, this gun will do you perfectly fine. Hell, you could even pair it with the armor pass that allows you to carry more mags, and it could double as a poor man's stalwart if you're desperate enough. There is one catch, though, to all of this. One catch so massive, it chases away half of the brain-dead turnips that play this game from actually using the weapon. That one catch is, it has light armor penetration.
What? We're flying to Philadelphia! Oh, hell no!
Now, I know that may sound like one massive drawback to a lot of you. You people know who you are. I know that sounded a little harsh, but there's still hope for a lot of you. The rest of this video, I'm going to carefully explain where to aim with each enemy type across every single front. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. The bug front, while simple at first, is extremely chaotic. Oftentimes it can be hard to identify what exactly you are shooting at in the first place, due to the heavy amount of spores on most planets. However, for more smaller foes, you don't really need to worry about weak points, as most just have light armor and thus can be cut down fairly easily with any light armor penetrating weapon. The only enemies you have to worry about are the Hive Guard and the Brood Commander. Hive Guards from the front can be dealt with via aiming for their legs whenever they hunker down. If you can get on their side or their back, you can just mag dump where there is no armor whatsoever and they will go down extremely quickly. Brood Commanders are the second enemy you have to worry about, but not due to their armor, but due to their large health pools. Personally, I just aim for their legs and then worry about hitting their bodies later, as even if you manage to knock off their head, they can still live for a short period of time, so crippling them before killing them is usually the better option. However, other than those two, you can freely aim at any small to medium bug you like. I would go into detail about stalkers, but other than just aim for the head and pray, there isn't really much you can do if you're snuck up on. But as annoying as stalkers can be, at least they aren't the... The automaton can be a pain to deal with when using the Liberator. With every enemy except for basic troopers having some type of medium armor, you will struggle a lot if you aren't aiming for weak points in their armor. With that said, if you aim for their weak points, they will go down extremely quickly. First problem enemy is the Devastator and its many variants, though I won't go into much detail about them individually, as they all share the same basic weaknesses. To take out a Devastator the fastest, 2 shots to the head will take them out. However, if you struggle at aiming from a distance, their midsections can be shot at and you can kill them with about little under half a mag in my experience. If for some reason you can't hit either, you can attempt to disable them by aiming for their arms or knocking off whatever gun they have strapped to their sides, making them a non-threat you can mop up later. The next enemy we will discuss is the Scout Strider. Scout Striders come in 2 variants, but you'll primarily only see one at higher difficulties. This variant is completely enclosed in medium armor, so you can't sidestep it and shoot the pilot or just fire through the armor. However, you can aim for the rockets on the side and blow them up. Other than that, the Liberator can't exactly deal with them effectively. You'll have to resort to some sort of grenade or higher caliber weapon if you want to tackle them head on. The last enemy of note is the Berserker. These methed up Devastators, while intimidating at first, will go down fairly easily if you just aim for their head. Their arms also seem to easily be shot off if you don't have enough rounds to put one down with body shots or aren't confident enough in landing 2 headshots. But for as bullet spongy as Berserkers and Devastators can be, at least they aren't the... The Illuminate are surprisingly the easiest faction to deal with the Liberator. Almost all their forces can be damaged with light armor and weapons, their heads being the most armored part of their body. The catch to all this, though, is they have a shitload of health, even more than the automatons, as Overseers can tank even a railgun shot to the chest and keep on kicking. However, let's start with the basic Voteless. The Voteless are easy to kill for the most part. A single headshot will drop them instantly. However, it can take quite a few rounds to kill one with just body shots. Not enough to make them unstoppable, but just enough that you should probably be careful and not overestimate your firepower. The next enemy is the Watcher. They will die in 2 or 3 shots, just make sure to down them quickly so they don't call reinforcements. And finally, the main enemy you should really be worrying about, the Overseer. The Overseer has 2 different variants, one with a jetpack and one on foot. The jetpack ones have more health than the grounded Overseers, but both will take an entire mag to the chest before going down. Like I said earlier, avoid headshots on both variants as their helmets have medium armor. The Flying Overseers have a unique weak point in the form of their jetpack. As long as you hit it enough, they will blow up. However, it can take quite a few shots, and it isn't always the most reliable thing ever. For grounded Overseers, just try to hit the same spot in their armor repeatedly, as once it's broken, they will go down pretty quickly. However, like I said, it will take probably around a magazine to take down one. But, you know, for as tanky as Overseers are, they don't come up enough really to make the Liberator struggle on squids. They are tanky, but they are infrequent, making Liberator still a great choice for squids, regardless of what situation you find yourself in. I kind of don't know how to close this video, but for anyone who watched me previously before I enlisted all my old videos, I'm probably going to be more of like a Helldiver focused channel now, instead of just the random gameplay videos I did before. I will still do random gameplay videos of just compilations and stuff of me and my friends just messing around, but it'll probably like not as frequent. Think of like a 1 to 3 ratio. I don't expect this video to get more than like 10 views, but if you did make it all the way here, I just want to thank you for listening to me yap about some random gun in a game most people consider dying, as, you know, illogical as that statement can be, so, you know, it's a very common sentiment. Anyway, back on track. I was thinking about talking about mechs in the next video if that interests anyone here, so if you want to check in next Monday, as I plan on uploading weekly every Monday, it should be out by then. But it's pretty late. It's like, hold on, let me check my phone. It's around like 3:30 right now, so I should probably be heading to bed. Anyway, catch y'all later.